Okay, cool. All right, we're live. Hey, what's going on? Good morning. So, it finally happened. Figured it was going to be coming here in the next couple of days, but they released the MD83 and the 88 variants for P3D version 4. Which I mean, I've always been a huge fan of the series. I've been following them since like '98, when all you saw were MD82s and 83s. Needless to say, I was pretty excited. So I want to talk a little bit today about the differences in the series and get a little flight in. So we're at Minneapolis and making a quick trip to Milwaukee. And I wanted to start cold and dark, just kind of show you there's really no difference in as far as the interior. It's really not a whole lot of differences. The biggest difference on the interior is, I mean, we'll get into a little more, but you have an alternate fuel burn system here for your Sarin tanks, and we'll talk some more about that shortly. But anywho, we'll go ahead and get this thing fired up. I think fortunately, doesn't take too long to get set up. All right. All right. So I always do this for some reason. It's just a habit. Turn that on. There's light switches. Test. I got my intercom low, so you probably can't hear the. Probably can't hear the flight attendant. Let's see. Come down here. I'm just gonna roll through it here and get everything on. On both sides. Get that going. Oh, you need hydraulics. Worry about that later.
Yes, sir. Connect the low pressure air, please.
And let's see. Temperature is -3. So one of the improvements they made on the model was, I guess long story short, the flight model now cares if it really has ice on it. So it's going to fly as if it's an aircraft with ice accumulation on the wings. So, I'm sure we all know that the flying characteristics change with the accumulation of ice. So, just be mindful of that. Especially those of us who work for a living. You're in a hurry, so you want to get a flight going, and amidst all the confusion and get everything going. You forget to de-ice and try to take off, and the thing just does not want to do what you want it to do, and ends for a bad day. So just don't be that guy. I say that because I've done it a couple times. 3011. Look at the airport map. Oh heck yeah! Minus 30. All right. And Streamlabs OBS has a weird, I don't know if it's a bug or if it's something on mine or what, but about to show you guys here. So when I went and looked at the map, you guys see a black screen, right? So I have to do this around a transition just so you guys, I mean, before I updated Streamlabs, it worked just fine, but now it doesn't. So there you go. I don't know, I may end up going back to the regular open broadcaster. Just getting this dialed in real quick. And we can go. And why in the heck is my Metro? It's like they're favoring 2-5. So what? J34? The Bay? And then, alright, so Bravo, Alpha, Echo. Bam, right there. And we'll go over here and arrival. All weird. I don't know if I wanna. Let me look at these wins. Let me see what we're doing, because I just don't know how I feel about the I mean, let's see, what's the weather? Scattered, 1100. Let's see. I guess we can do a localizer on it. Do a localizer. Nah, I'll go ahead and do a nihilist. Nah. Oh, so yeah, we'll yeah, I want to get a little more into this thing because, I mean, there's a lot of differences, but then at the same time, there's not. And I say that because a lot of the MD82s received a lot of the MD83 and 88 upgrades, which means I mean, if you're not really paying attention, the differences are, you know, you really can't tell them. Let me get this. We'll do 20, 25. Oh my gosh, this mouse wheel. Stop. Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, I mean, there's some differences, but I guess at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. Now, is it worth buying? Heck yeah. I mean, pick it up, but don't, You know, don't spend your beer money on it. You know, if you, of course, I'm spending my beer money on it because I mean, I love the series. I'll go ahead and forward, but yeah, I mean, of course, the range. I mean, the range is drastically different, and a few other things here. See the temperature, -3. We might go ahead and de-ice. Now, another improvement they made is you don't have to use the flight attendant for the Mad Dog flight attendant. Now, you can actually GSX will run all of your run all your doors and all that fun stuff, which makes it nice. Makes getting set up less chaotic. 25,000. I think it's 119.8, I believe. Look at them. Where are they at? Down here somewhere. Too many numbers, that's the problem. Oh, here we go. Alright, cruise wind 275 at 44. And -49. And normally what I'll do, I'm sure a lot of you guys do it as well, other than fight my oversensitive mouse. Alright, so I'll normally just jump in the plan mode or the plan view and zoom out a little bit because you can't really see nothing. And just kind of roll through the plan. Alright, then you kind of zoom in there. And you gotta hold here before you hit your initial approach fix, but we ain't got time for that, so. We'll probably just go. We may just skip Bay. And we'll do it later for right now. We'll just go ahead and activate. So, bam. We'll go ahead and activate, and we've entered the majority of this. Yeah, we've entered the majority of that, so I believe we should be good. I said you can actually see people boarding in this thing, but I don't know, I really don't care, honestly, but I think it's the clear jetways where you can see the other style jetways where you can see them. I don't know. Go double check our numbers.
I'm doing good.
Alright, so we'll go ahead and turn on our APUs. So we'll hit our DC fuel pump here. Start. And I say DC fuel pump since this fuel pump is coming off of your batteries. So this will be a fuel pump you'll use if you lose both your generators, both your engines go out, so you lost AC power, ain't got that. You can go ahead and fire up the APU at the least, and using your DC pump, and get some air flowing, and see if you can kick your main engines off if you lose them. No, you don't really need. So I remember I saw somewhere, but it was like somebody was asking about the hydraulics, but being that you got these little mini trim tabs here, these are mechanically linked, so I mean, as long as your cables aren't broken, these will still go. So if these still go, you can still fly, which is the beauty of this airplane. It's so robust. I mean, you can not have hydraulics now. I mean, it'll be extremely heavy, but
I'm doing good.
even then it really wouldn't be that bad since you're not manipulating the main flight control surfaces directly. You're just using the little trim tabs. And so we're just setting up our takeoff trim here. And APU's all fired up. So we'll just start bringing things off of our external power. Go ahead and get that air going.
Yes, sir. You're clear to disconnect. Thanks.
And yeah, that's good. And let me double check my speeds real quick. I just saw something out. 160. Here we go. So 25. That's good. That's good. Okay. So it should be finishing up boarding. There we go. Made me nervous. Should be about done boarding. I don't see any. Well, let me see if I can zoom in here. I really don't see any ice on the wings. I believe we should be okay. I believe we should be fine. I don't think we'll need the icing today. I don't know if this is like, oh yeah, you can see people, kind of, sort of, maybe. But yeah, you can see a few people there boarding. Thought I did, unless I'm seeing things. There you go, you can kind of see a meander on board there. Okay, so we'll go ahead and turn on our bleeds. Now this is when track IR would help out tremendously, but I don't have it on right now. Alright. Bring that over just a little bit. Oh, and oh, it's good there. Feel is good. Got that set. Pressurization. Let's see. Feel. 700 feet. All right. Oh, bring that up. Right there. Got our pressurization set up. Seatbelt signs on. That's armed. All right. Oh, so I guess we're waiting real time for 144 people to get on board. But this is good. So where you want to be. You want to already be set up. So as soon as they finish boarding, you get final numbers and you can go. And let's see. Okay, so you're right. I believe we're at Charlie 2. Charlie 2-5. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're just waiting to. Yeah, they're done with us. We're just waiting for all these people to get on board. Holy smokes, just 41. The realism. Which is good, but you know, sometimes it can be a little too real. Hmm. Awesome. Well, I mean,
Thank you.
I guess we'll wait. We'll go ahead and bring up the fuel system. So yeah, I don't know if you guys remember me mentioning it, but yeah, you had the little. Normally, you'll have a little. You used to have your standard switches and the 82 across both your forward and your aft pumps. So this guy here is, like I said, it's like an alternate fuel burn system. So you got 3 positions. You got auto, off, and on. Basically, when it's an auto, the center tank will feed the engines until I forgot. It's just like a certain fuel level it hits. But once that level hits, then the pumps will stop until the level in the main tanks reaches a certain level. So the theory behind that, from what I was reading up on, is they wanted to minimize the amount of contact that the cold fuel had with the upper wing surface to prevent ice from accumulating. And that's it. That's pretty much it. But as far as like the overall setup, I mean, okay. The fuel capacity has been increased, as well as the engine type. Of course, has bigger engines, 219s, I believe, versus the 217 alphas, and I want to say there's a 209 that a few of them used to run way back in the day. Alright, where we're sitting at now. Just 59, holy smokes.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you? I'm doing good.
Guess we shall wait. I guess we should have been boarding like forever ago. And of course, I had to get the 88 and the Delta flavor, since they ran quite a few of these. I don't think they run them anymore. I think they're all retired. I think they just run the what? The MD-90 and the 717. Almost at 70. Turn this up here.
I'm right next to her. Thank you.
Waiting on the old GSX. It's off there. But yeah, so totally thinking about cutting this short. Let the old guy get on.
I'm right next to her. Thank you.
I can just sit here and people watch. Oh, and there are our numbers there. So 119.1, I was off a little bit. 119.1, takeoff fuel, 15,700 pounds. Trip fuel, 13,000. See, oh, hurry up, we're gonna burn that. Let's see. Landing weight. Ooh. We'll go ahead and make the change here. 119.1. Then jump our takeoff screen and enter 32, 136, 145. Yeah, we're at 15.8 right now. I believe 30 rights over there. Yeah, I mean, we don't have a ridiculously long taxi time, so I mean, I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be fine as long as we can get off the ground in an expeditious manner.
Hello. Thank you.
Start putting off trying to the loop. Excuse me. Still boarding, guys. Still boarding. So, yeah, which, you know, I mean, I can appreciate the extra time. I know that was on the forums, and especially on the GXX forums, there were some people who were complaining that, you know, oh, you know, should change the attack. They board way too quickly and things like that. But I think in your JSX and your settings there, you can actually adjust the time that it takes to board. So I mean, you're not stuck with waiting, you know, like we are. Since I think this is my first SOTY jetway that I've boarded on, not, you know, deplaned on, and so I haven't had the opportunity to really experience this. So this is definitely pretty interesting, not gonna lie. I know with the weather the way it is, we're definitely gonna have to hit anti-icing once we take off for sure. We'll need to run our de-icing equipment. And actually, while we're doing that, where are you? There we go. If I can find it. Yeah, I don't think we're going to need the ice. I really don't. Because if we do indeed have to de-ice, I mean, there's going to be quite a bit we're going to have to do. But taxiing, we're going to have to get our fuel heat on for sure. Let's see, yeah, definitely. Run out and we'll have to do that. That should be good. Almost there. Almost there. Needless to say, I'm going to add a little shortcut to skip the boarding process because I didn't foresee it being this long. Oops.
Hello. Thank you. I'm right next to her. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, guy, I would know you're right next door. Okay.
Morning. Morning.
Lord, keep light.
Hi, morning.
Now I wonder if we had the de-ice, can we do it? I don't know. They do have a ground de-ice, so you can. Okay.
Hello. Thank you. Good evening, ma'am. How are you? I'm doing good. Morning. Good morning.
This dude.
Hello. Thank you.
Was that 118? Did I miss that? $129. Oh my gosh.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you? I'm doing good. How are you? Hello. How are you? Good morning. Thank you.
Oh man.
Hello.
Almost there. Yeah, just FYI, if you don't adjust your boarding times, I mean, just be prepared to go and grab something to eat, watch a movie or something like that, and then come back. Because Lord help us if we're in a like a 777 or 747.
How are you?
My goodness. I mean, I can't say I'm not impressed, but
Morning. Good morning.
and so
Good morning.
I think we are.
Hello. Thank you.
I think we are almost done. Get out of here. Yes, finally. Finally. You're gonna close those doors for me? Or you're gonna make me do it? Oh, it's closing. Okay, awesome. Alright, so left and right on. Thank you. Alright, so any collision on. We can meander over here on this side. I'll go ahead and turn the left and right and pumps on high, and then some trans pump on for our hydraulics. I guess we have to pull a gate, unbrake jetways, undock, confirm selection, and request pushback departure. Waiting for other services to complete. Alright, let's see, that's on. Ice warning. No, there's no precipitation, so no, we will not need it. Left.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push completed and brakes set.
Of course. Yeah, we can go ahead and turn off our start pump since we have our pumps going here.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Ho 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 ho.
Locking gear. Departure check completed. Bypass bin inserted.
Alright.
Release parking brakes.
Alright, go ahead and release parking
Commencing
brakes.
push. Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push completed and brakes set.
Oh yeah, we gotta have to wait. At least we're finally getting out of here, so that's a plus. Huge plus. So yeah, not far at all. What's our fuel looking like? Alright, we're good. We're good. Go ahead and set this for runway heading though. There we go.
Set parking brakes.
And parking brake set. And it's probably gonna give us a green light here in a minute. So we'll go ahead and turn off our left and right packs. Make sure we got good pneumatic pressure. And then engine ignition. We'll put it on system A for right now. And make sure thrust levers are at idle.
Unlocking gear.
Door Q light.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass
Good.
bin removed.
All right.
Left is clear. Right is clear. Clear to start engines.
Alright, so now go ahead and go in here. So I'll go ahead and start the right engine. N2's coming up. Waiting for around 23. Alright, it's 23 right there. EGT. Alright, EGT is coming up. Okay. Go ahead and close that start valve. Head up here, make sure generator spinning. Alright, and clear on the left. Look at left engine. %. %. Go ahead and turn on our fuel. There's the EGT coming up. And here we go. Alright. Let's see here. So air conditioning on. APU as required. We'll go ahead and turn off the air there. And we'll close our cross-feed valves. We're gonna leave our left and right bus. Our left and right bus on our APU until we take off and all that fun stuff. We'll turn on our anti-skid, yaw damper, anti-ice equipment. We'll go ahead and run a cycle, a fuel heating cycle. Just in case. And there's brakes. Nose light on. Everything else looks good. All right. Finally. Don't need much power at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please have your attention?
Hey man, call me crazy, but
In preparation for departure, the seat back is straight up, tray table is stowed,
fuel temp looks
is completely under the seat.
looks a wee on the high side.
Instructions require compliance with all
Normally it doesn't come up that high, but
instructions. To fasten your seat
I don't know. Maybe it's, I don't know.
adjust the strap so it fits lower to compress your cups. To release, lift the faceplate of the
Looks like it's trying to line out.
instruction part of the seat manual from the board. It explains the safety features of this aircraft as well as the location and operation of the exits and flotation devices. Your seat cushion serves as an improved flotation device. To remove it, pull up and take it with you to the nearest suitable exit. After exiting the aircraft, place your arms to the straps and mount the cushion to your chest. There are 8 emergency exits aboard the aircraft. 2-door exits at the front of the cabin, 4 overwing exits, 1-door exit, and 1 tailgate exit at the rear of the cabin. Take a moment to locate your nearest exit, keeping in mind that it may be behind you. If there is a loss of electrical power, low-level emergency lights will illuminate. All exits are indicated by lighted exit signs.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and
In case of a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen mask will be released from the lid. To start the flow of oxygen, reach up and pull the mask towards you, fully extending the plastic tube. Place the mask
go ahead and get lined up.
Pull the tab on either side of the mask to tighten. A plastic bag does not need to inflate when oxygen is flowing. Be sure to secure your mask first before sustaining pressure. As a reminder, smoking is not permitted in any
All right, we are there.
tampering, disabling
Alright, so we'll run through the little
Welcome aboard. We hope you enjoy.
for takeoff check. That's set. Ignition selector switches set. On. Right. And yeah, everything looks good there. Okay, cool. A little notification.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're number 1 for takeoff. Flight attendants, please be seated.
Alright, let's see. And set up here and oops. Flight director on both sides. We'll go ahead and take 30 right and get out of here. Righty, let's go.
Click.
Sure they're clamped?
Yes, cross check.
Come back just a little bit.
V1, rotate. Positive rate.
And gear up.
Gear up, lights out.
Alright, 1,000 feet. Be now on. Start lowering the angle of attack. And let's get some flaps up. Cut myself out a little bit.
Flap 0.
Slats retracted.
Slats retracted.
And climb thrust set.
Climb thrust set.
Alright, give it to auto for a minute so we can alright. What we can do now, go ahead and turn off our APU. And we'll go ahead and make that a left turn. And let's see, we'll go ahead and disarm our spoiler. And turn on our anti-ice. Probably go ahead and turn on our wing anti-ice as well. Anti-ice protection tempo low. There we go. And really what we can do, we can go ahead and just armor nav mode. While we're doing that, we'll go ahead and bring our hydraulic pumps to low and our auxiliary and transfer pump to off. I'll dial in some more fuel heat. Pressure abnormal, we've got to open up our... That should go away. I will say I do notice quite a performance difference in the 88 versus the 82. Let's go ahead and put this back on vertical speed though. And we'll wait till we're good and clear of the cloud layer, and then at that point we can go ahead and turn off our anti-ice there. Actually, we can go ahead and turn off our engine ignition. Good there. We were good. Here we are. All right, looks like so far so good. So. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know as far as design-wise. I mean, there are so many different variants of this thing, but when you look at it from a commonality perspective, I mean, for the most part, like I said earlier, the 82 got quite a few of the 83 upgrades. In fact, I think there were some 82s that were redesignated as 83s once they got the engine upgrade, and I think a lot of them started getting a lot of the 82s started getting some of the Pratt & Whitney 219 JT8 JT8D 219 engines on them, and I mean, at that point, you know, and of course they added the wind shear alert system. The new displays, EFIS, flight management system, and I mean, at that point you got yourself an 83. So range-wise, I think that was where they got the biggest upgrade. I mean, I think these things are good up to. I know the 88. The 88 is good up to, I think, 2,500 nautical miles, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So, and that's, you know, with 155 passengers. Of course, it came with, I think, 2 extra auxiliary tanks. So nowadays, especially if you look at look on FlightAware, you'll see a lot of the 88s are making some pretty long runs. I mean, you're hard pressed to. You're hard pressed to find an MD-88 running. I think the closest one I found was this, which is Minneapolis to Milwaukee, and that's like right around 250, 300 some odd miles. But I mean, I want to say that is the reason why, you know, back in the early 90s, we saw so many MD-80 series aircraft out there, you know, because they're so versatile. You know, especially before, you know, 737-700-800 series really start getting popular back in the day, and then, you know, back when you had a lot more turboprop aircraft running, you know, those 500-mile hops, you know. But then you had this thing that could run the, you know, 500-mile trips, plus, you know, make that trip from Minneapolis to Philadelphia or DFW or wherever. So, I mean, literally, you go to the airport and 70 to 80% of the aircraft that were out there was MD-80s. But then again, you know, Minneapolis, you also saw a bunch of Avros as well. One for RJ-85s and all those. Alright, looks like we're clear. And let's see. Oops, go back. And turn off airfoil icing there. That's all off. Turn this up as well. But I mean, I guess as time went on, you know, a lot of your 82s went in and went and got some. Went and got retrofitted. Which, I mean, why not? You know, why wouldn't you want to go ahead and get your airplanes upgraded? So a lot of your 82s are 83s, but they've been redesignated, and even with the 88, I mean, they're pretty similar to the 82 or the 83. The only difference is, you know, it's the EFIS cockpit. With like I said, you know, a lot of them went from the traditional analog flight deck to the EFIS cockpit. So, you know, even then, it kind of blurs the line. And I think, what was it? I forgot who did it, but I remember hearing way back when there was it may have been Delta, if I'm not mistaken, but Delta picked up a bunch of 82s, and they all got upgraded to 88 specs, and I guess, you know, when you spend that much money on airplanes, you can redesignate them wherever, request to get them redesignated to where the heck you want it. So, of course, they all get redesignated to MD-88. So, that 88 could very well be an 82. You know, that you're on now. You don't know. But yeah, I mean, as far as this girl here, I mean, of course, it has the PBR or physics-based rendering included, which I don't know. Me personally, I can't really. I mean, it's nice, but it's really not a deal breaker for me. But the only thing I will say is, like your aluminum skinned liveries, like your, of course, I mean, I'm gonna say American. You really do notice a huge difference with the physics basement. Like, it's a huge difference. This one not so much. I hadn't really noticed it. But then again, you know, it could be my settings as well. I mean, you can see a little bit of it, you know, from certain angles, but, you know, not much to really write home about. Now, the biggest thing for me was some of the additional upgrades. Oh, cool. Some of the additional upgrades it got on the back end, as far as the GSX integration. As you guys saw, I mean, even though it took bloody 20 minutes to board, but it's kind of nice, I'm not gonna lie, you know, getting that level of realism. But, you know, with the anti-icing simulation, I think they did some work with the load manager. Of course, the additional fuel tank. So, you know, you have that option now, and as we were talking about earlier, even with as with the airlines, you have that option as well too, if you want to take that trip to St. Martin or wherever your heart desires, you can, because you can carry the additional fuel. It's always nice. And, you know, of course, yeah, the PBR, which I think the initial liveries that you do get are compatible with the are PBR compatible, but some of the third-party liveries, it's going to take a little bit for them to get everything updated on their end and pass it on to us. So I mean, as far as differences, I mean, it's really, from what we see to date, there's, in my opinion, other than the added performance from the engine upgrade with the JT-AD 219s, you know, the 217Cs. I mean, just looking at it, even if you looked at it from the outside, you really can't tell it. I mean, I can't. I mean, you really just can't blatantly tell a difference unless, you know, you're like, you know, the engine cowling is slightly different or something like that, maybe. But, you know, just looking at it, you're not going to tell the difference. I mean, in my opinion, the only you don't really start noticing huge differences unless you start comparing like the DC-9 to, you know, to an EM, and even then, depending on the generation of, you know, MD series you're talking about. I mean, it's like, yeah. Then, you know, MD, like the earlier MDs were kind of classified as DC-9s, and there's the lines begin to get really blurred when, you know, you get on the conversation of McDonnell Douglas and all of their antics. You know, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, but I mean, this thing's mission profile is just so versatile. I think that's what really attracted me to it. I mean, just, you used to see these things everywhere. I think American and Delta are really the only one. Even Allegiant. I mean, even Allegiant finally stopped running these things. I mean, I didn't think they were ever going to get rid of the 727, but even Allegiant finally stopped running the MD-80. Finally. And, you know, I was like, well, you know, even because initially I was like, well, maybe, you know, at least Legion's going to keep running them. So, I mean, you know, at least we'll be able to still see them from time to time. You know, I mean, they, you know, may be broken. They may not be running, you know, since we all are aware of, you know, said airline's track record. But, I mean, at least we'll be able to see them. So, I don't know. I think slowly but surely we're starting to notice a lot of the airframes get rotated out of service, and it's going to be a sad day to see for sure. I'm not even going to sit here and lie to you. It's going to be a sad day to see. I mean, nowadays you know a lot of the equipment that we see are more, you know, specialized for the mission in which they were purchased to do, which is great because they, you know, performed that mission really well. But I mean, in my opinion, you know, it's like, I mean, I guess certain routes dictate it, but let's just say, for example, the CRJ 200. I mean, honestly, I mean, no one really wants to ride on a CRJ 200 on a 300-mile trip, much less a, you know, 1,000-mile trip. But, you know, could you imagine trying to run that thing for, you know, I mean, you just couldn't. Now, the 700 and then the, you know, CRJ 700, 900 series, you know, it's, you know, you start kind of getting into that, you know, upper echelon as far as versatility. It can still hit the smaller airports, but at the same time, you know, has the capability of, you know, really reaching out there. But even then, you know, as far as passenger capacity, you really don't, you know, comparing the 700 to this, it's kind of, you know, not a very fair comparison. Even the Dash 900, I think, as far as passenger capacity wise, let's see. I want to say look here. And of course, it really depends on how they're outfitted as well. Find it here. I mean, even the CRJ 900, depending on how it's outfitted, it can only seat up to 90. Now, with that being said, those 90 seats would remain full because that's, you know, I mean, you can't really necessarily guarantee you're going to fill up 120 or 130 seats on a, you know, I don't know, 500-600 mile trip. But I mean, you can pretty much, unless it's one of those, you know, oh, what's that term? I think it's like an EAS airport or something like that, where, you know, they have to have service there for whatever reason. I mean, unless you have that, you know, I mean, you can pretty much, I mean, you can fill up 90 seats on a, you know, depending on the airport, on a pretty consistent basis. You know, of course, like I said, depending on passenger volume and things like that, you know, the location, things like that. I mean, you can pretty much move 90 passengers as far as, you know, as far as seat sales are concerned. But then again, you know, when, you know, if you're gonna high density route, you know, you're going to have to increase your frequency of flights, you know, if you're running a lower capacity aircraft versus, you know, a higher capacity aircraft, which I think that's kind of where the, you know, McDonnell Douglas steps in, you know, gives, you know, has the ability to get into those smaller airports and things like that, but at the same time, you know, has the capacity to, you know, maximize the operator's profit when it comes to, you know, that high density route or whatever it may be. So I don't know. I mean, but then on the flip side, you know, the Pratt & Whitneys, I mean, they're ridiculously inefficient. I mean, we all know that. I mean, there's no secret, but still sad to see. I feel heat is weird. It comes up pretty good bit for that. I figured maybe because I was on the ground or something like that, but I don't know. We'll watch it here and see what it comes up to. Let's see, hold down, delete that hold. Delete that hold and do that. And like I said, we may skip, I think we're just gonna skip Bay. Execute that. And we'll see if we can get down there. We can come in for a base to final. Make this short and sweet. It came up to like 30 degrees Celsius, which, I mean, it's not. I don't know, man. Maybe that's more accurate. I don't know, because it seemed as if, you know, it was a little slower on the previous versions. Alright, let's see. Actually, I'm going to step out real quick and I'll be right back. Alright, let's see. Had to hit up the old coffee pot. And right on time, so run that down there. And let's see, according to the weather, going to be going through some visible moisture here as well, which we can kind of see down there. So we'll probably be running our NTI systems on this is the descent portion also. And it's 39, which will probably end up doing 28 anyway. Outside view. I mean, like I said, you can notice on the painted liveries, it seems like you can notice a subtle difference. The other side there. You know, nothing crazy. Yeah, drag in there. Probably what we'll go ahead and do is go ahead and open our cross feed valves and go ahead and get that going. Nice protection, temp low. And these should, I think the reason being is being that our engines are idled. We're not pushing enough bleed air, so let's see as the engines are coming up there, starting to kind of, but as I idle down, the amount of pneumatic pressure decreases, which should be okay there. We'll just turn on our airfoil surfaces, the anti-ice for airfoil surfaces, and you might have, especially on descent, you might have to either plan your descent appropriately to at least have the ability to come up a little bit on your EPR in order to maintain that pneumatic pressure to power both surfaces, power both your airfoil, which are your wings, and your engines. But honestly, it's not going to be that thick going through there, so I think we'll be fine. Just where I would definitely like to keep the wings. Yeah, I mean, want to keep both of them, honestly, but if I had to pick, I mean, you can always glide. You know, if you lose the engines, you always glide. But, you know, we kind of don't want to lose the engines either, so, you know, kind of, it's one of those situations, just kind of have to pick the lesser of two evils, I suppose, and just run your airfoils, leave your engine anti-ice off until you need it, or if you need your tail anti-ice, just gotta press that button, and it runs off a little timer. So as you can see, our airfoil anti-ice turned off, and our tail anti-ice is on. They'll be on for a certain period of time, and then they'll whoops, turn off again. Alright, so we got drag required, where we're at 11,000. Seatbelt signs on. Yeah, we'll go ahead and set up. Get set up here on our ILS frequency setup at C1030. And speed brakes on still. Good. And we'll just roll this all the way to 1901. There we go. And yeah, good there, good there. Okay. Yeah, we'll set this up for go around. Trying to bleed out speed, get below 250, and we can continue our descent. And actually, we'll go ahead and do, which I kind of prefer this anyway. And we'll go ahead and start working our vertical speed down and get us nice and set up for the approach. So especially going through cloud layers like this isn't too bad, but when you have multiple cloud layers and you look at your temperature there and you're below 0 degrees Celsius and you have visible moisture, you definitely want to be working your ice protection. So landing light on, we'll go ahead and turn that on. Then on the old MD-11, of course, our hydraulic system isn't automatic, so you want to go ahead and turn on your engine-driven hydraulic pumps from low to high, not off, but low to high. Your auxiliary transfer pumps are both on. Alright, so far it's looking pretty good. And it is cold, so our fuel temps are gonna constantly want to dip down there. So, I mean, there's a number, I forgot the number, but you basically want to keep it above 0 degrees Celsius, your fuel temps. As long as you do that, you're good. And actually, as I'm looking here, we're almost above freezing. Alrighty, and we'll go ahead and start walking the speed back. About 210. Stop. There we go. Shallow up a little bit. Let's see here. I'm up to about 1400. Come up a little bit. Getting a little turbulence. You see we're back on wing anti-ice. And I'll slow down to $1.80. And you can see we still got spoilers deployed. Wanting to see if I can slow down enough to make this turn. I'm about to hit 3,000 feet. All told's coming up, and we're got the radar altimeter right there.
Stabilizer motion.
And we'll go ahead and arm our ILS here. Here we go. And let's see here, and alright, at this point we'll go ahead and dump some slats.
Slats extended.
And I've got the localizer alive as well. And looks like we're starting to slow down right there. Right now we're flaps 11 right now. Alright, there's a glide slope coming down there. Looks like she's alive. Go ahead and want the speed back a little more, and then we'll hit up flaps 15.
Flaps 15.
And we'll go ahead and turn off anti-ice there and close our cross feed valves. And gear down.
Gear down. Free
And
Speed brake.
oops, wrong one. Flaps 28. And we'll see if we can get this ornery auto brake system will work. Sometimes it wants to work, sometimes it doesn't. No idea why. Alright, go ahead and arm our spoiler. And I have control. Alright. Should be like a little button you can press to kind of. There we go. I mean, flying wise, as far as feel, I mean, it's pretty much the same as any other MD series. Got a little bit of a crosswind, and I say a little, like 14 knots. But we'll make it work. Keep her crab in. Come down nice and easy. Eh.
100. Light slow. Light 50, slow. 40, 30, 20.
Wing over a little bit.
10.
Get the rudder over. Brakes.
60 knots. First light's out.
And let's see if we can make this exit. If we can. Up. Flaps up here, and where's the up this way? Okay. Yeah, that auto brake, and it might be my aging rudder pedals. Like, you can be nowhere near the toe brakes, and she just disengages. Probably why. Get this AP on real quick. Alright, and strobe lights are off. And weather radar off. Go ahead and kill one. Coming in a little too hot. There's AP right there. We can fire that up real quick. Only difference is, I believe, on the checklist, if I'm not mistaken, you can go ahead and turn on the AP on approach. I think I may be getting that confused with another aircraft, but I believe you can, though, especially in icing, just to give you that additional buffer there to run your anti-ice equipment, and if anything else, you know, comes up, you know, you'll have enough bleed air to handle it. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, I turn on the start pump there, turn all this off. All that awesome stuff off. Let's see, put these guys, pick them off of auto. It should be on. Oh no, or I'll open up the bleeds here. All that fun stuff off. Jump over here. That's off. And let go. Woo, awesome. All right, guys, that's pretty much it as far as the flight goes there. Once again, I'm thoroughly impressed with this airplane. I mean, these guys, they never cease to amaze me. If you guys get an opportunity, definitely check it out. I think it's like $25, 25 euros on Sim Market, which comes up to like 30 bucks or something like that, if I'm not mistaken, $29, like that. So have an opportunity, definitely check it out. Definitely check it out. You'll be glad you did. All right, guys, about to head out of here. You guys have the rest of your Sunday. I'm sure I probably caught most of you out and about doing your thing, getting ready for Christmas. And just Merry Christmas, and hope you guys have a blessed one. And we'll see you guys later.